Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Real Estate Rockstar Partnership. I am your host, Phil Barneo, and I'm excited to be here with you today. I have a pretty cool message that I think you're going to enjoy. In the meantime, before I get into the message, do me a quick solid. And if, however you're watching this, just go ahead and smash the subscribe button. Also, drop me a comment and let me know that you're here. Say what's up. Give me some fire or something if you like what we're talking about. And I greatly appreciate that. So let's get into the message for today. The message I have for you today is going to be about, I'm going to take a characteristic of a rock star, and I'm going to explain a couple things about it that I think is really important to business. And I think it's important to your career, whether you're a real estate agent, whether you're a real estate investor, or just anybody in business, honestly. And it probably even applies to life. So this is one of those messages that are kind of, they can kind of go throughout all different aspects of your life and of your business. So what am I talking about today? Well, I'm talking about the characteristic of a rock star, in that being rock stars are rebels. Okay, rock stars are definitely rebels. And I think that everybody to some degree kind of likes rebels, right? Rebels are exciting. And rock stars are typically characterized as being a little bit, I'm not going to say the word rebellious because we'll get into that, but being rebels. I like the word rebel. It's different than being rebellious. A rebel is a good thing. A rebel is a good characteristic, which we're going to get into. So what are some of the characteristics of a rebel, and how can you apply these to your business and to your life to help you live a more fulfilling life, to help you have a more profitable business, to help you stand out, and really just, find more enjoyment and congruency throughout your life and your business. And so let's get into it. So what is a rebel? A rebel typically tends to be like a free thinker or an independent thinker. I think that's extremely important in everything that we do in business. Rebels don't care what others think, right? They're not as concerned as what everybody else around them thinks of them. So they don't feel that they have to conform to everything and kind of, live in that mediocrity. Actually, mediocrity makes rebels very uncomfortable. Rebels do not like that. They're free thinkers. And they are a little bit more fearless in that, right? So they're not scared to, think outside the box and be who they are, and act in a way that allows them to be independent, right? I always, I'm a believer in the faith. When I look at different examples of people that I follow, of course, Christ is one of my followers. He's a lot more than that to me. But no matter what your faith is or what your belief is, if you look at the life of Jesus Christ, you can definitely say he was a rebel. He was a rebel of the highest rebels. He went against everything of the status quo. He did not care what everybody thought of them. He knew who he was, and he was a great example of how you can live the life of a rebel, and how it can have such a positive impact in so many aspects of your life. So that's a great example of somebody who was a free thinker, independent thinker, and really lived out all of the characteristics that we're going to get into as I continue in this message. So Jesus was a rebel. So if he was a rebel, then I want to be a rebel, and maybe you should consider being a rebel. So a couple other things. Let's get into some more here. So I have that rebels, they find, like, if you're, like I said before, they find conventional living kind of tedious and boring. They need more excitement in life. That's kind of what turns them on. Some of that has to do with personality, and some of that, has to do with, kind of pushing yourself to do so, right? Because some people, out of fear, can get stuck in that conventional type of living and that mediocrity. And sometimes we need to challenge ourselves and push ourselves to step outside the box and to, obviously push ourselves to be that rebel that we're talking about. Sometimes people, it's more in their personality, like to naturally want to do that. And depending on where you are, just be aware of that. And if it is in your personality, like it's kind of in my personality, just using some simple examples, I always like to go try new restaurants, right? Like I love, if you say, hey, there's a new restaurant, if I haven't tried it, I want to go there and try it. Why? Because I'm a rebel, right? So like rebels want more excitement. They want new things. They want new ventures and like, things that keep them excited and keep them moving within their business and within their life and everything. So some people, always will like to go to the same restaurant, and that's not necessarily bad at all. It's just that sometimes you'll never know, because obviously, why would somebody want to stay in the same restaurant? Or why would somebody want to stay doing the same things that they've been doing in their business? Like, let's say you're a real estate agent and you've been doing the same type of marketing and the same type of things that you've been doing in your business for a long time. Maybe if you're a seasoned agent, maybe you're not as good as in the modern technologies of marketing and social media and doing all these different things that can really expand your business, right? So if you keep staying in that same restaurant, you keep using those same marketing methods, you'll never know what's out there that can be better for you, that can, like maybe how do you find that restaurant that you might love if you're stuck, in the same three restaurants that you always go to? I used to have a cafe, and it was funny because a lot of people came in there and they would order the exact same, sandwich every day. And now I kind of do that too, a lot of times for health purposes and fitness purposes, like, right. But, obviously we're talking about the same thing. You got to try new things, or how do you know if you're going to like it? So rebels don't like to conform to that, that same standard. They're looking for things that are new and that are exciting and that can help them grow and expand. So I think what the point there is, obviously do that in your business. Take a moment right now to think about some things that maybe just one thing, make it that you can do to be a rebel and try something new in your business. Maybe drop some money into some new marketing, or maybe do some new branding and stuff where which we'll get into as in another characteristic. But do something to step out of your comfort zone as a rebel and take your business, take your life into the next level. All right. So rebels also, one thing that I find that a lot of people don't think of, but I respect this so much, is that rebels, because they're not afraid and they lack at least they go through their fear. I don't know if, and nobody lacks fear fully, right? But they are more fearless, or at least they have the capacity to just move through their fear. But they live by their values because of that. And that's something that's really important to me. Having values and morals and things that you stand for and things that you believe in, and not sacrificing that for anybody, right? It doesn't matter, what kind of pressure you face or whatever. I don't sacrifice my values. I don't sacrifice the moral standards that I have and the things that I believe in, because that's a characteristic of a rebel, is not giving, a crap what other people think or what they're trying to push you do or whatever. And so, those things can happen to us in life, and they can happen to us in business too, where we just get kind of stuck, and people are trying to push you to maybe do some things that are against some of the things that, or the integrity, so to speak, that you are, that you are committed to. So I respect that about rebels, and that's one of the things that I always try to live by. Another awesome characteristic of rebels is that they are confident. They display high confidence. Now, does a confident person, like, being confident does not mean that you wake up every day and you're just a confident person, like it's a personality trait or something. Confidence is a characteristic of a rebel, but confidence is something that number one, it brings a lot of business. So if you're not confident in business, if you're going to sell real estate, or you're going to, to try to buy off-market properties, or you're going to, talk to clients and stuff, and you lack confidence, you are going to have a much lower conversion in the sales process as somebody who has confidence. So confidence is something that rebels display, but it's something that, it's not, like I said, it's not a personality trait, it's something that you can work on. And confidence comes from a lot of different things. It comes from past successes. So the more success you have, the easier it is to get confident. But what happens when you don't have that? What happens if you're newer? What happens if you're challenging yourself to a new level in business? Like, for example, I have a home building company, and I remember when I first started, building homes, or when you first started selling real estate, trying to get listings, right? It's very difficult to be confident about something that you don't have any experience in. And I remember, when I was doing that originally, trying to, convince somebody, sell somebody on the fact that they should work with me to build their house, to build typically the most important, purchase of their life. And that's what we deal with in real estate transactions. You want somebody to, trust you and trust you with the process of either finding or listing their home. And building it is even more difficult to earn the trust in my opinion. And so how do you do that if you're newer? I think you have to understand that confidence is a large part of mindset as well. So you have to decide to believe in yourself, and you have to fill your life and yourself up with different things that are positive and motivating, because that helps feed confidence into you. Now that's going to motivate you to have a little bit more confidence if you're constantly, around people who are more successful, and you're kind of rolling with them. If you're reading good, personal growth books and stuff like that, and listening to different podcasts of real estate or investing or personal development or, spirituality or whatever, and it's feeding your mind good things, it's going to help you be a lot more confident. So if you're struggling with that or trying to get over the next hump, and you're looking for an elevation in confidence, make sure that you're feeding your mind with those good things so that you can have that confidence and help. And then as you start stacking successes, you'll be able to much more naturally, have that come through, because now you have the past experience of being, of having those successes, which raises your elevates your confidence level. So I hope that's helpful to you, because confidence truly is king, especially when it comes to sales. People know whether or not because confidence is a level of belief. And when you have a level of belief, when you're selling somebody, that confidence, that level of belief is what sells. You could be literally an amateur and have confidence, and you will get sales, because that comes across as as motivating, and it makes people believe in you. You could have the most skills in the world, and you could be a seasoned agent. If you're having a bad day and you lack confidence, and you're just like in a rut or whatever, and you go try to sell something, you could be the most qualified person on the planet to serve that person, to serve that client. But if your confidence sucks, you just lost. You are not probably going to get that. So it is so important. That is one of the other things that I respect about Rebels, is they are confident. With all that said, we will move to another thing that Rebels do so well, and that is they disrupt things. And disruption is good to a degree. If it's for a good cause, if it's for a good reason, disruption is good, because people have a tendency to get stuck in the, like I said before, in the normal and the status quo, and the way that things have always been. And we need rebels to come along and disrupt things. Okay, that's a good thing, because that creates opportunity. It creates change. It creates, primarily opportunity for people. And you can't have that without somebody being a rebel and coming in to disrupt that. So in order to do that, obviously you have to have a little bit of all of these characteristics, because that's what causes you to be able to disrupt things. So I'll give you an example in business. I'll utilize the company that I am with, eXp Realty. eXp Realty is right now disrupting the real estate industry. And they're doing it because they've created a different type of real estate model. It's not like your traditional brokerages and real estate companies. And that model and the momentum that model has been building and is building has been disrupting the real estate industry and providing fantastic opportunity for agents across the world. And so that's one example of somebody, Glenn Sanford in this case, who is EXP's founder, who was able to be a rebel and come in and disrupt an industry that was stuck in its way. And he found and decided that there was a better way and a different way that real estate can be done. And he did it. And you can do the same thing in business. You could do the same thing in your company. Even within real estate, you can do different things and disrupt some things. Like if you're a team leader, if you're a broker, you can be that rebel who steps out and says, hey man, I see a different way. I see a cool way to do something. Let's try to roll with this and cause a little disruption and get some attention. So disruption can be very good as long as it's being used in a good way, obviously, right? Another characteristic of a rebel is rebels are quick decision makers. They move quickly typically, okay? And that's a good thing because procrastination is not going to help you build your business, okay? Sometimes, taking a step back and thinking, I'm not saying to be rash, but in business, you want to be a quick decision maker. The wealthiest people on the planet make quick decisions. They do think about it. They think about what they're going to do. They think about the decision. They weigh it out, and then they move quick. Once they weigh it out and they rationalize it, they move. They don't let all the little things that are going on in your mind that are always going to try to creep in and cause doubt, the fear to creep in and take over. They don't do that. They operate in faith, not fear, right? And faith is not the absence of fear. It's not the absence of fear. Faith is moving in spite of fear. And so when you're a rebel, you're a quick decision maker, you're moving in spite of fear. You're not allowing all of these different things to keep you chained and keep you held back into where you are when you know that you're trying to move into a different direction or move into a new opportunity or move into something. So rebels make quick decisions, okay? Which is an awesome characteristic and can, dramatically change your business and help your business because you have to do that. You have to make quick decisions in order to elevate your level of play. All right. So what else do rebels do? So rebels also, and this is something that I respect, and I think I believe that rebels possess this. They're committed to, even though they are rebellious, a good rebel is also committed to collective success, to the success of the whole or the bigger picture. Okay, they're not selfish, but they're committed. They're not scared. They have all the other characteristics we just mentioned, but they're also team players. They're committed to the success of the team. Jesus operated that way, right? He wasn't selfish and trying to gain all the glory and do all these things. He was giving it to where it was due, to his heavenly Father, right? So when you operate as a rebel, you operate in faith and you have all these characteristics, but you still understand that you have to, be playing on a team and playing as a team because you can't do everything yourself, number one. Number two, when you work together, everybody can achieve more, right? The acronym for team, together everyone achieves more. And so you got to have that collective success mindset and respect the leadership and the hierarchy of an organization, right? There might be a time when, you decide that you need to make a move. And I'm not saying not to do that, but what I am saying is this is a bad way to disrupt. You don't want to disrupt something that you're like a team or something that you're in. If you want to go and you're being led or you feel there's a different opportunity, you want to be able to leave and go do that. Don't disrupt leadership. Don't disrupt the hierarchy. Don't disrupt an organization that and cause harm to others. So that's a good quality of a rebel, is that they are team players. Now rebels are, and they are also one of the things I would say, kind of summing this all up in closing here, you don't want to be a rebel just to be a rebel, right? That's not a good, it's not a good reason to be a rebel. All these characteristics that I'm mentioning here that I believe are good characteristics, and within a rebel, and why I consider myself a rebel, and why I would hope that you would implore the title of rebel too, maybe, is because you want to be a rebel that's seeking success and seeking, the benefit of others, seeking, serving others and stuff. And you can do that better when you are a rebel. Because when you're stuck in fear and you're stuck, in your traditional ways and you don't have these rebel characteristics, then you're really not that powerful in life and you're really not that powerful in business. And so I encourage you today to consider some of these characteristics, maybe one of these characteristics, and employ them into your life. And into your business, and see if it increases your revenue, see if it increases, your fulfillment, see if it increases a lot of different other things that it can affect and touch once you start doing it. All right. In closing, I would like to say the last thing, like I believe that God made everybody as an individual. So you always want to make sure that you understand that there's nobody else on the planet like you. And I don't ever want you to be afraid to be you. I am not afraid to be me. As a matter of fact, I look at the person that I am and the DNA that God gave me and all of that I'm able to, grow and develop within myself makes me a completely unique individual. And you have the exact same, individualism within you. And I don't want you or anybody to be afraid to develop yourself and be you. Like, don't try to be somebody else. Be yourself. You want to. I don't think you will ever be fulfilled if you don't do that. If you're not true to yourself, no matter what you do in life or in business, you're making a sacrifice right there. You're making a sacrifice. And I'll say this in closing. The other good thing, the other caveat of that is a benefit for you and your business, especially, is that when you are you, that you end up attracting the right type of people into your life, into your organization. When you front, when you pose, when you act in a certain way that you're trying to be like somebody else or like some other business or like whatever, it's fake, and you end up attracting maybe people that you don't even want to be around, maybe people that don't gel, and the culture is not right. Okay. And so don't be afraid to be you, because that's who you are. And you are an awesome individual. And you want to be able to attract those types of people who like you, who gel with you, who connect with you, and who, want to be around you. And so in closing, I'm going to say that, like, people have told me, just an example, like, hey, you can't curse. You can't express your faith in business, and you can't curse, and you can't do, and then people will tell me, well, you can't curse if you're up. There's all these different things people tell me, but I don't care, because I'm a rebel and I am me, and I am happy and content being me. Now, if you like me, then that's cool. Then we're probably friends. We probably have fun through social media together or whatever. And if you don't like me, I'm totally cool with that too. Like, it's okay, right? So I think that when you do that, you're opening the door of invitation to allow people to come into your life that can, partner with you, joint venture with you, connect with you, network with you, and all of those things will end up elevating, your business, your life, your fulfillment, your future, and everything. So, in closing, I hope you enjoyed my message today. It was kind of on the fly. And so with that, in closing, I will just say, I hope that you take something from this and you go out and you be a rebel and you kick some ass in business and you have some fun and you be yourself. So this is closing on another episode of the Real Estate Rockstar Partnership. I hope I helped you in some way, shape, or form. As always, peace out, God bless, and I will see you on another episode, another time in the near future. Take care. God bless you.